Welcome to Verbal Big Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are every day. People like to welcome you all to the show. We're doing part 2. No, actually, I take that back, bro. I take that back. We're gonna comment on the situation with Nick Cannon, but not per se Nick Cannon. We just dealing with the dynamics in which the incident was surrounded around, and that's truth and knowledge, right? But Nick Cannon was a catalyst to bring forth this topic. So today, this is a teaching moment, and I like to bring in to help me with this specific topic, Brother Marcus Muhd. Brother Marcus, welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, bro. How you doing?
Man, pretty good, bro. And first of all, I appreciate your time and your spirit doing this. Although you had to put a good friend of yours to rest yesterday, and
yes,
yeah, but I appreciate you still giving us your time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now, getting into this thing with Nick Cannon, right? Truth and knowledge is truth and knowledge. And there's different scenarios surrounding this particular case. One scenario is, did the execs or the powers that be, or the ones who Nick Cannon has the contract with, or i.e. Boulay sent Nick Cannon purposely into the conscious community to create this confusion and chaos by saying, hey, I'm a big celebrity, but I believe in the Black Power movement. I believe in consciousness. I believe in knowledge and the truth. And I believe that there's power in knowledge. And I'm going to get so many people to listen to me and gain so many followers, right? And then when they give me the signal, I'm going to drop them. I'm going to go against the knowledge. I'm going to try and take away some of their power or their platform that they stood on. I'm going to bring in Minister Tony Muhammad, the minister in South Central LA, and he stated that $80 million of our tax dollars goes to Israel.
Right.
But yet, America had nothing to do with the situation that took place with the Holocaust. But black people who built this country gets no reparations, right? Now, I don't know if you familiar with Asheville, North Carolina, where they just gave them a form of reparations, but yet they had a black person that they interviewed said that it wasn't going to come in any form of money, that they get, better schooling and get better perks, right? And it seems as though all of this is a catalyst to create something that they're really trying to or intend to get to. And the reason why I say this is because over the years, whenever the celebrities and Hollywood get involved, when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, don't nobody wind up with nothing. So my question to you, Brother Mark, is how do we be the watchers, the gatekeepers, to make sure we don't get tricked and fooled again, or are we paranoid due to previous treatments and how the outcome ended up, and we said, Dad, we should have done it. If this situation arises again, we'll do it like this the next time.
Well, I think the first thing that we should realize, we should really conceptualize in our mind is the time that we're living in. This is not the time of the beginnings of chattel slavery. I hear a lot of the youngsters jump up and scream out, "Hey, we're not our ancestors. You're not going to do it like that." But they say it in a way that is borderline disrespectful, because they're actually saying that our ancestors were weak and we're not. But
What?
They have to understand that in those times, in those days, in order for our ancestors to be made into slaves, they killed the first generation off that they brought over here.
Right.
They had nothing to do with making them into slaves. They wanted the offspring and the offspring of their offspring, 2 generations after their first one, to breed slavery into them from birth, like raising you up from a baby to be a slave. Okay? True enough, though, this is not that time. And I would like to reiterate to young people, once again, that you are not your ancestors. But now that means, in this day and age, we can't behave and carry on in the same practices as our ancestors.
Right.
All the way from your diet, all the way from your thinking, all the way from your mannerisms, your behavior, everything that they robbed from us, you have to try and reclaim that. And at the same time, drop what was given to you in place of it.
Right.
So yes, it may be good and sound good and feel good for you to scream out, "I'm not my ancestors," as to say that I'm not weak to go into slavery or to be enslaved. But how much strength do you have? Prove it by replacing what you was robbed of. Because that's what time it is.
Right, because he uses no new tricks, but this seems like the trick that is being used now is not physical slavery, is mental slavery, meaning to dumb the generations or dumb the people down to where they still would be totally dependent upon him, because the colonizers don't want them to exercise the power of their thinking or to gain knowledge. And so they'll, in order to use them as a tool today, it's to weaken their thought process or our thought process, weaken the value in which we see ourselves. This is a propaganda tactic that is being used on us today, and it seems like that they bring in certain celebrities or certain people to help do their bidding. It reminds me of the movie Geronimo, when they stated that it took an Apache to catch an Apache, and that Apache helped them lead the army, military, up to the mountains, because he knew where Geronimo was. Geronimo was like, "Damn, dude, you brought them up here? Like, where your loyalty?" You know what I mean? So after they got Geronimo and sent him off to the reservation, they sent that same Apache who helped trap Geronimo, had him right on the train with him, heading on to the reservation too. He thought they was gonna give him some type of favor at the end, and so he wound up on a reservation with his people.
And that's how it works. They promise you, and they give you nothing.
Right.
They promise you, and they give you nothing. Even the ones that sell their soul, that you're gonna wind up with shit. Look at all our celebrities. How many of them die with the money that they made while they were here?
Right.
Or do they die in the agent that they hired in the person who do their finances?
The accountant.
Who winds up with the money? The accountant.
Right.
Right. Who winds up with the money?
Yeah.
Now, how come the family has to argue over
Right.
which portion they get, but they have to go through?
Right.
The one who really owns the estate,
Right.
the accountant and the agent.
Right. Then the accountant and the agents, they children going out to college, living a plush life off their money, and they children fighting each other in court to get the crumbs that was left.
Right. Now, so how important is it that you live your whole life with a zip over your mouth because the people that you want to be next to and close to tell you this is what you got to say and this is what you can't say? How important is that to you that you live your life that way?
That's right.
You die and leave no legacy.
That's right.
Your legacy is on the screen. But your children can't benefit from everything that you did in regards to the work and the time and the effort that you spent to become that great person on the screen. And the sales of it. They still selling the thing after you're dead, and your children barely see anything from it. That's not leaving a legacy.
That's right.
The legacy is on the screen.
That's right. Now, because that's very important, bro. Very important legacy. Because not only in finances or material legacy, what about the legacy to leave to the next generation of how to stand up like a man? You know, no, meaning that how you gonna teach that young lion to roar, right? Because look, now Nick Cannon said that first he was like, "How can I be an anti-Semite?" And this is his position, and I'm not arguing his position. He said, "How can I be an anti-Semite when the original Jews was black?" Right? Now, if the other Jews, let's say the Caucasian Jews or whatnot, if they had a problem with that, and if they saw him as a man, then what they would say, well, you bring forth your evidence, and I'll bring forth my evidence, and we'll deal with this thing like men.
If they saw him as a man, that's the key to what you just said. If they saw him as a man.
Right. They said, what? You get out there and you go apologize for even thinking like that.
That's right. That's what happened. That's what happened.
And when he went and did that, he gave up his credibility. He gave up his respect. I'm not saying for black people. I'm saying for the people that they probably couldn't believe that he actually went out and done it because all they did was call and he came.
Right.
Wow.
I don't. Everybody got their own thing.
That's right.
You never really know what it's like to be a person unless you were that person. You're in that person's shoes.
Right.
In a similar situation or whatnot. You know what I mean? And I heard that I heard Minister Ishmael say this morning, as a matter of fact, that we should be careful about how we, react, how we comment on this brother, because that's actually part of the enemy's strategy is to keep us divided and to speak on one another this way or that way. So,
right.
I mean, I take that, the brother's admonishment.
Right.
To heart and seriously, because that's the value of guidance.
Right.
You have to be able to have enough humility about yourself that you can hear guidance from the wise.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense, and since you said be careful, I'll be careful, but
right.
I'm just gonna say, hey, brother, from now on, he should be very, very careful, and everybody who's witnessed just what happened should be also very careful because the time is short, and we should be held accountable for behaving or misbehaving in that manner, because our people and our future is more important than you.
Right. One person can't rise higher than the whole. Meaning
Exactly.
that.
Now,
Yes, sir.
now, if you built a very comfortable lifestyle off of the subculture of your people, and you feel like it's that easy for you to turn around and sell your people out in words or in deeds, then it should be pointed out that that is what you did, at least.
Right.
Not in a condescending way,
right.
a malicious way,
right.
trying to hurt the brother, but we have to make a distinction as to what is and what should be.
Right. Now, I gotta admit, Brother Mark, I was kind of rough on him when I was like, you know, how I was doing a role play of how the agents, his handlers, came to him and was like, look, Nick, you know what I mean? You get on out there, and Nick, I sorry, boss. I ain't mean to upset you. Right, okay, I kind of might have went too far. But I'm saying, but the point I was making was the fact that, dude, you can't sell out that many of your followers when they're getting their boldness and they looking at you extract that boldness up out of them and standing them up, and then they going back doing the research. Then now they having these side dialogues about the truth and facts, because some was just woke up and was like, whoa, let me go see if this is true, right?
Right.
Then you turn around and say, well, I apologize for saying it. And now they stuck with the books in their hand and like, okay, well, what do I do now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't gonna never believe another word.
Right. Some of them gonna just drop out. Man, I'm through with these.
I mean, you know, Peter went through the city cutting right ears off, and Jesus had to tell him, man, stop cutting right ears off.
Right.
You know, just because you feel something personal, you're going to word something, and now people don't want to even hear another word of truth anymore.
Right, because
you spoke something out of your feelings.
Right, you put your own needs above the needs of the people. Meaning you put your own car, your own whatever that they're giving you. I sell all y'all out to maintain with the handout or the crumbs or whatever that my slave master is giving me.
Even though I got it off your back.
Right.
You know, and I ain't got to deal with the things that you have to deal with either.
Right.
You know.
And the show he started, man, the show he created, Wild and Out, it was said that they took that from him and gave it to Ryan Seacrest, a white dude. Which is okay, you know, because if they own you, they can do whatever they want to do. But when you speaking on being independent and building something for yourself, and you know, the things of that nature, then you can't allow one person to throw everything down the gutter of truth and knowledge for some trinkets.
Right.
Now I just want to read this right. Now, they called him an anti-Semite, right? But now the reading it of Semitic is relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. Right? So it's telling you that you got some black Semites.
Right.
Especially when you start getting into Arabic and Aramaic,
Right.
and the Afro-Asiatic family, then what Nick Cannon should have did was, and he could have consulted scholars that would have researched and gave him everything he needed to defend his statements. But in his apology, he thanked the rabbis for educating him on a Jewish history that stems from 5,000 years in the past, right? But then wait a minute. Mr. Farrakhan stated that when they said Judah, he was talking about the original Jews. He even was alluding to the fact that the original Jews was black, dating back before the Caucasian came up out of the Caucasus Mountains, right?
Right.
So how can Nick Cannon, huh?
Go ahead, I'm listening,
Now,
bro. I'm listening.
you know what I'm saying? So how can Nick Cannon come back and say, well, or how can you take the scholarship of the rabbi on Jewish history, but you don't consult with the minister on the Jewish history or the secret relationship between blacks and Jews that he put forth, so we can deal with this thing on a scholarly plane or scholarly playing field. That way, meaning that way everybody is respectful and no one sticking their chest out saying, "Well, I'm better than you." No, I'm better than you. Hey, now, and it's not about that, because we got to solve the confusion. That's the only goal. This ain't about color and I'm thinking I'm better and whatnot. No, we want historical, actual facts is all the people seeking for.
Well, that ain't what he wanted to do at all, period. That wasn't anything on it. I'm like, what's the basis of your apology? You know, what are you apologizing for? What can you can't apologize for speaking something that's true. I don't understand it. But you know, once they got that fear in you like that, you throw all your reason out the door. You're just going to obey, you know.
Right, it ain't
It's
right.
kind of like what you should do for God. When the God tell you to do something, you don't understand why. You just hear and obey. You know?
Right.
Because you got trust in the God. So that
Okay.
tells you who your God is.
Okay.
Is when you throw all your reason out the door and you just put your faith in doing what this man, this entity tells you to do, you know.
Right.
So there it is.
Right. And
Now,
I'm listening, brother.
go ahead.
Oh no, I'm listening. I was just simply getting ready to say that it's not personal as far as coming up, you know, this topic that's coming up out of emotions or whatnot. This is simply if we were created on truth and truth will set you free, then we roll with truth. And especially with black people in America, the truth is the only weapon we got. You start snatching the only thing that we have from us by going back and fighting against what's truth, then and you, this big media public figure, then you causing more damage is the point I'm trying to make, Brother Mark. That's all I'm saying, Brother Mark.
You're right. I mean, we learning that we are actually the makers, the owners, the cream of the planet Earth and the gods of the universe. Because we are the second self of God. God made us in his likeness and image. That makes us undeveloped gods. You know? So when somebody come along and say, hey, here's some truth, because God is truth and God is love. I love you enough to tell you something good from God, which is the truth. And then those that are the synagogue of Satan come along and say, hey, say you're sorry, or else I'm going to take away everything I gave you. and then you turn around and say, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, a whole lot of people looking at that like, I mean, me and you, bro, it ain't nothing you can really say to somebody like us, you know.
Right.
You know, that's just, let's just go ahead and put that out, you know, just establish that. It really, whoever's listening to this is called being thoroughly convinced, man. You know, you don't bask in this kind of wisdom up under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and not be firm in your belief, because you know for actual fact that what is being said is true.
Right.
Or when you hear a lie, you know it's a damn lie.
Right.
You know, we're not trying to convince each other. We're just trying to say that there's too many people out there that haven't heard this, because the arch deceiver's job is to make sure that you don't hear it.
Right.
And that you just continue to be conveyed through life, serving them, not even knowing so. So that when the teachings come to you in a certain way, however it comes to you, whatever shape, form, or fashion, you hear it, and then it sparks a light in your mind and in your heart, and you start questioning things that you never questioned before. And you start feeling a certain way that you never felt before that's better than what you're usually feeling.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the source that you get it from just says, I'm sorry for saying that.
Right.
Don't tell you why. All you know is that he served the same master that got you on the conveyor belt.
Right.
So what does that do with you not having enough understanding about what you just heard?
Right.
You stay on the damn conveyor belt.
Right. Yeah.
You continue. You stay on the chain gang.
Right. Yeah. You can kill somebody's will with that's part. That's part.
And you never allow them to even understand what they just heard. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it's really a matter of fear, because like we talked about earlier, they killed that first generation. They weren't going to make that they weren't going to make the first Africans no slaves.
Right.
That just wasn't going to happen. And they knew that. You had slaves jumping off the ship on the way, taking over slave ships. When they got here, you just wasn't going to do that. But they got enough of them to breed and kill that first generation out and bred that slavery into those next two generations to fear.
Right. Yeah.
The slave master.
You're right. They showed some of
and
that.
That fear that still now today in this present day and time that's crippling us.
Right. Yeah.
It's fear.
It's fear. They showed that with Kunta Kinte and Chicken George, because Chicken George had to be the fiddler. The fiddler was the one who had to work Kunta in, because the fiddler was already broken. Who had to teach him the new broken ways, in order for Kunta to survive, because Kunta still had his way in him, that African way in him. He wasn't broke yet, right? That's why he fought to keep his name Kunta, because the name was important. They had to break him, but Kunta got to talking to him and breaking some truths down, till the fiddler started trying to understand what freedom was, because he didn't know freedom. That's why Harriet Tubman was like, well, yeah, she saved about 1,000 slaves, but could have saved 1,000 more if they known that they were slaves. Right? Because the worst, being physical and shackled is horrific, because that iron draws that energy up out of your body and it makes you weak. But mental slavery, when you out of those shackles, or the lion in the cage, but the cage is lifted, and in his mind, he can't go beyond the scope of what they taught him, is somebody has it's sad, but somebody have to come and give you back your mind. You know?
And tell you that there is something beyond what you're seeing.
Right.
That's better than what you're seeing. It's like this Chicken George guy. He was an hustler. You know?
Mm-hmm.
The Chicken George wanted something out of life.
But you're right.
Chicken George, he had a little fame about him. You know, he was popping it. You feel me?
Right.
But the only thing he understood was this world's definition of success.
Right.
And who gives it is the masters of this world that's going down, it's going out. Mm-hmm. But they are the masters of it. And whoever wants to succeed in this world and enjoy the riches that we have, that they call riches, you know, mm-hmm. that we all understand and know as the riches, then this is what you do and this is how you do it. And you have to serve me. Now, I met a person through a person that banged his head on the 33rd degree ceiling mm-hmm. of the Freemasonries. Mm-hmm. Because you mentioned the boule earlier, right?
Right.
So he was a hustler. Dude could sell any and everything. And you listen to him long enough, you know, next thing you know, you'll be riding the golden. I mean, this dude was heavy, you feel me?
Right.
But then he realized, damn, I can't go no higher than 30, and if I do, I really don't want to because now I'm in the realm. I mean, this dude was seeing death, man.
Damn.
You feel me? You can hear it in his voice. He was so afraid of his life. He's so afraid for his life, man. He was always on the run, always moving, always, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it was like, you know, I got to give you this, but don't listen to it. You feel me?
Right.
That's what he tell you. The person I know, he gave the information to him was like, man, I got to give this to you, but don't listen to it. You feel me?
God, dang, that's woo.
Because look at me, I got to keep moving. It's like, you know, if I was gonna put a character, it's like the dude was sweating and shit, and you know what I'm saying, and
right.
You know, looking over his shoulder,
right.
And shit. That's the kind of life he was living.
He paranoid.
Yeah, because he realized at the point he rose so hard and so fast, and he thought he could achieve it all. You feel me? But he realized, boom, he ain't going no further than this because if you go through that door, you got to be either one of us or you know, you're gonna commit your last act, and it's gonna be it for you.
Mm.
But see, he realized that everything he did to get up to that point was all for that master, for the master of that industry.
Come on, bruh. Yes, sir. Yeah.
And so there wasn't no going forward, and there wasn't no going backward, man. You ain't got no life for this. You don't have nothing with these people, man.
No, yeah.
You can't go back because look what you did.
That's
Just
right.
Like certain people that we may have mentioned or may not have mentioned, they're going to try to throw you back on us. And we're going to be looking at you like, damn, dude.
Right. Yeah.
So they can't really go forward and they can't really go backwards, man.
Damn.
Only thing they got left is the God that created them.
Right.
If they still fear that slave master more than they fear the God, they're not going to turn to the God.
Right.
But that's their only way out, man. That's their only. This dude was a Christian, but like the type of Christian that he should be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not the one that not the pretenders.
Right.
I'm talking about the Christians that believe in the word of Jesus, literally.
Right.
Okay, so he couldn't really grasp the understanding. He couldn't get enough of it to make him overcome the fear of that which he had already been serving for so long, because he had been doing it for so long. I mean, you got to pay your money.
Right.
This teaching over here is for free, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's free game over here all day long.
All day long. You saying he couldn't grasp nothing that was higher than what they gave him.
No, because you got to go higher than 33rd degree to become a Freemason.
Right.
33rd degree ain't no Freemason. That's a Mason.
Right.
And you heavy. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna get no heavier.
Right.
Because they don't allow black people to go farther than that.
Wow.
Because if you go any further than that, you realize the whole damn thing is about you. You know, so hey.
Wow.
You feel me?
I feel you, bro.
I don't have to stop you right here. You know what I'm saying? You're dangerous. You're in the danger zone now, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can't tell nobody. You can't go backwards. You can't go forward. You gotta go to the guard.
Yeah.
If you got enough in you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Wow, bro. That's, man.
That's what these brothers are, man. You know, the entertainment industry and the entertainment world, they know how powerful it is. So they took control of it in such a way that it's weaponized against the populace. Not just black people, but black people for sure, because whenever and wherever and however black people wake up, finally, it's over.
Right. But you're right. Hollywood is so cold at it to where they'll create a narrative that black people are the white man's enemy, but they keep reinforcing it in their movies. They'll have a black blob that's coming to suck up the town. They'll have a big black werewolf, you know, that's coming to kill. And you know, but underneath that is white people. You better stay ready, because black folks coming for you, and they take that to heart. But mostly it's out of guilt, because they know how they took this country, and they know who was here when they took it, and they saying, well, one day y'all gonna rise up and do to us what we did to y'all, and they reinforce it in those movies, and they on guard. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they fail to realize that that's not even our intention. We screaming freedom, justice, and equality.
And that it don't say for who. It don't say for who. It says freedom, justice, and equality.
Right.
You qualify for freedom, justice, and equality, is yours.
Mm.
But just by you being here, you qualify for it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You knock yourself out the box. When you fight against nature.
That's, oh my God. You not look, when an apology is like a confession. If you apologizing for something,
exactly
right. You confessing that you didn't know what the hell you was doing, or what you was saying was wrong.
I don't know what he can't. That's why I said you can't apologize.
Yeah, you can't.
It's a confession.
Right.
What the hell are you confessing for something you ain't do?
Right, for something you didn't do.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. So that's why I'm saying, was this all a plot to create a new paradigm, a new dynamic? So now it's like when you in court and they go back and say, well, we referring to so-and-so versus so-and-so, section so-and-so, where it was stated or ruled that by way of so-and-so, so-and-so. Will they go back and say, well, by Nick Cannon's confession that the original Jews wasn't black, we cite this and we document it and we put it in public record?
Well, just like you said in the other show, Nick Cannon didn't say why he was apologizing.
Right.
He never said why. He just said, I'm sorry for saying that.
Right.
Why are you sorry for saying that?
Right.
Why was you wrong? What was you wrong about? He never said anything like that. It's just, say you're sorry, nigga.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have said, I'm sorry.
Right. Under duress.
And he said that. I mean, and everybody who was backing him up, I ain't gonna say everybody. Of course, not everybody. But
you see, Dwayne Wade, here every ring.
You way to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We already know you out of you in the wrong lane.
Anyway.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got some confessing to do on some other things, real life shit.
Right.
We all do.
Right.
But
right.
I'm not gonna drag the whole shit up and dump my shit in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? And then anybody tell me I'm wrong. You know?
Right.
Yeah, when you do it all like this, man, you susceptible for somebody to say, man, get your ass out. Get out of the street, man.
Yeah, get on out the way. Right. Move.
Get out the street, man.
Right.
So nobody asked Wayne Wade to come out there with that, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't want to see no Mr. Show shit no more.
Right. That's what it is right there, man. We tired of it, bro. You right.
Yeah, it's over, man. We done with that shit, man.
Right.
You know, you don't play with us enough. We don't believe in it. You know, it's been a long time since we was down with it. So you want to keep coming with that shit. There's no way we can show support for you. We can't even hold you up.
Right.
The time dictates that you straighten up, not for us to keep holding you up, man.
Right.
That's not going to be the standard. For you to just go out there and do whatever the hell you want to do, then you shame the shit out of all of us, and we just going to let you make it.
Right. No,
it's over for that shit, man.
Yeah, them days is, you know.
We're doing you a disservice.
That's right.
Not just us, if we just let you persist in that bullshit.
That's right.
How you going to look at us as brothers?
That's right.
If we just allow you to be a sucker like that for them people and disgrace us at the same time.
That's right. You got a great portion of the whatever terminology you want to use, whether it's black, Moorish, Aswad, whatever, that's wide awake. And it's like football in the sense, right? You say you've been playing this team twice a year for 10 years. So you know something, and they haven't changed their play call. So you know something about them and what they're getting ready to run.
Right.
And if they run the ball straight down your throat and you got the play and you didn't prepare and practice for that play, then come on, that's on you. But when you got that linebacker caught in the play saying, we're going to run this, they coming right here.
Right.
Warning you, here come the play. And they still run the rock right down your throat. Then something is wrong. And so that's what people saying, hey, we seen this before. Nah, we not finna fall for this no more. That's dead. You ain't running this play.
Right.
And can't nobody say, and then if you come behind them and say, well, let them run the play. And you're like, well, damn, if we let them run this play, we finna lose the game.
Yeah.
If we lose the game, we lose the money, then we through.
Yeah.
Our season over.
Well, somebody need to pull the linebacker out the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the team shouldn't be ashamed of doing that.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And then when he get on the sideline, somebody can go over there and lick him. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, good. You might even get back in there. Just
yeah. Right. Yeah, it ain't personal. That's right. It ain't personal.
The same way somebody with the ball. You say, bring your ass out, man.
That's right.
You get your mind right and let somebody else run a few plays or something, man.
That's right. That's
just the way it is. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
We still sharp and steel.
That's right. Still sharp and steel, bro. Like
this dude would have made a whole career out of playing the dozens.
Yeah, come on, man.
Everybody gets on stage and whoever can talk the best shit at the other one and make it rhyme.
Right.
Sometimes.
Come on.
You win, and we all celebrate. It's all fun and games and shit.
Right.
But then the minute he say something about the truth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About somebody on straight up truth.
Right.
The whole world explodes.
Right. Hey, whoa, hey, whoa, what you doing, nigga?
As long as we talking that shit at each other.
Right.
Oh, your mama did nothing, nigga. Right. Uncle G will get.
Yeah, it's good.
Games,
That's right.
Shoot
Yeah.
you down, nigga. Shoot you in the ass. Your mama stink. Your gas. I fuck the gas, nigga.
Right. They love
It's
it.
all fun, right?
They love it.
But as soon as the man say something true about somebody, no, it don't work like that no more, man.
Right. Yeah, for real. Yeah. Wait. Whoa. What you talking? Hey, no, not you.
No,
You.
we ain't going for that shit no more.
Now, you right. Now. Before we get out of here, though, man. If his name was Nick Muhammad, Nick Bay, if he had a righteous name,
Yes, sir.
you still think would they would have even approached him to apologize without treating him as a man?
I think they would have, because they needed him to.
Right.
People gonna do what they need. They're gonna pursue their needs. They needed him to apologize. Now, why they took out a 2019 comment
Right.
and brought it out in 2020 after all of this uprising, after George Floyd, in the
Right.
midst of a pandemic, is a whole nother show.
Right. That's right.
But they brought that out
Right.
and made that public, and then made him apologize.
Right.
They needed that.
You're right.
You see?
And that's the big why. Right. That's
Running
the
around with a turban on his head,
right.
a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the George Floyd thing happened, and he went on, I think, his own type of platform. I mean, I don't mean his own platform, but
Cannon's
something that he
class.
can do independently.
Right.
And lay down and, you on my neck, half making mockery of it. I ain't even want to play that shit. People sending me that. I mean, you know how they say it's too early? You know, Nick Cannon, I don't want to see that shit. But I ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But apparently, those people didn't like that. Otherwise, why would you bring out a 2019 comment off of a separate platform and threaten him for the show that he created?
Right. Yeah.
And then as soon as he says, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you get the show back. Was it that bad then?
Right.
Was it that bad what he said then? All he has to do is say, I'm sorry, then he got it back. If he's just going to give it right back to him like that, then what the hell is he pitching for then?
Right. What's the bigger purpose?
What's the problem?
Right.
If it's all he has to do is say, I'm sorry, here, you're going to take the show back.
That's right.
If he's such a bad person, why you give it right back to him?
Right. Right.
Man, you got to watch the enemy, man. You got to understand the enemy, bro.
And you're right, and then we got to see what his content like. If he put the turban back on, whether he do it or not, it'd be hard for him to be taken seriously anyway.
Yeah.
That's all. Not to say that Nick Cannon, the individual, saying it in the context of what Nick Cannon, his career. You know.
Can't go forward, can't go backwards.
Right. Wow. That's a hell of a place. That's purgatory. That's a hell of a place.
Purgatory.
Put that in.
No land. Man with no land. You got to get it right, bro. Everybody who listens to this, as young people and y'all want things out of life, man, you got to put it out. You got to put all the cards on the table and look at the whole thing and take the tape out.
Yeah.
This is not a game, man.
No, it's real, because you're gonna advance in your years, and you're gonna have to have certain foundations in play, and you can't be out here with your head in the clouds, because as Brother Mark stated, you got an enemy working on you 24 hours a day. This is chess
24 hours a day working
on you.
And there's nothing wrong with being a celebrity. If that's what you want to be in life, you want to become a celebrity. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But there's more ways to become a celebrity or a famous person than to just do it status quo like.
Right. Because
Because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the most famous person on the planet.
right.
Buddy.
Bar none.
And you can't find a second that he was. you can't find a second that the man ever sold you out and told you a lie. So just think about your options, man. Be independent. God made you to be a God.
That's right.
He didn't make you to be a slave of a
Man.
fake God.
Right.
For you to become successful in life, man.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
This is a vast planet. And the wisdom is vast on it. Dig deep. Find yourself. Become yourself. Don't let somebody make you who they want you to be. Because if they get through making you, they own you.
They own you. And they can break you. They say, I make you, I can break you.
I make you, I can break you.
And they fail to realize is the enemy take pleasure out of breaking you. He feed off that energy.
That's right.
Yeah, brother Mark. All right, man. I appreciate your time. And this is one of those shows that go down in history because this was a teaching moment, and I like to thank Nick Cannon for this teaching moment. You know, that he presented, so we can get things together as we shape our future post COVID-19. Because as we said in an earlier podcast, Brother Mark, things are not going back to the way it was before this COVID-19 coronavirus.
No, sir, brother.
Yeah. New day, bro.
That's the purpose of it, is for us to move forward.
Right. Well, Verbal Peak Radio, we out and appreciate you again, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.